Right, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of Us Your Kit, and I'm delighted to be joined by Finn Morris, aka Finerrz. Have I said that correctly? I've put the R's in the right place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it can be said anyway, can't it? Really sounded quite country. That I like that.
Oh, R Finerrz. Yeah. So, how are you getting on then, Finners, in isolation?
Yeah, getting by, I suppose, as well as we can do. Going through loads of unnecessary jobs, getting the Nintendo Wii out, stuff like that. We've reached that point now. So,
Oh man.
Yeah, having fun as a family.
Yeah. And obviously, as we were talking about just before, you've been doing the rounds on the Wolves media circuit. You're on Harry Mansell's channel yesterday. You're on mine today. So,
Yeah.
Any other plans? Are you appearing on anything else, or what is your content calendar looking like in general of the next couple of weeks?
Doing anyone's but my own at the moment. So yeah, did a podcast Friday with a guy who just started up his own podcast. Really good idea. He was a young Wolves fan. Harry's yesterday, yours today. I've been doing a few live streams. We've just had bearable internet put in just before the lockdown, so that was good timing. But saying that, it did break last Friday, so I couldn't stream. Obviously, the vlogging was my only thing, and now that's been wiped away. So I'm sort of a bit rabbit in the headlights as what to do. So I've come up with a few different bits and bobs, and then it's sort of stuff where you think, like, you start getting there, and it's like, oh, and this person, like, and then you think, oh no, because we're in lockdown and you can't see. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to come up with those ideas, and I probably just need to try some stuff instead of just going, oh well, it's not gonna be as good as a vlog or whatever. Just put the feelers out
and
there.
You've got such a big fan base now that if you put something up, and as Harry was talking about yesterday about people invested in your family and things like that, if you were to do a day in the life of the Morrises in isolation, people would definitely be interested and would certainly watch it. And I'm sure that you could come up with some funny skits and whatever.
TGF doing theirs.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, they sort of made it a bit officey, like sort of like, I don't know, I quite like that sort of style with the little interview, like funny, like, I don't know, but yeah, I've got a few ideas. Obviously, a lot of FIFA content going as well at the moment with him and Ed, so that would be cool.
I did hear yesterday that that's how you started doing YouTube, was through FIFA videos. Have you thought about going back to doing that sort of thing now?
I could. When I first started doing it, as I said to Harry, it's sort of like you're a small fish in a ginormous pond. So it's very, very hard. I'd have to go with the sort of Wolves angle to be able to do anything like that. But to be honest, I'm playing it more than I ever have. So at the moment, it would be cool to maybe just record instead of it just being wasted time. Maybe do something like that. I would live stream it, but my wife, I wouldn't be able to handle live streaming. I'm playing a game. The players would be lagging all over the place. So I was looking at Football Manager, FIFA, something like that. So yeah, if I get bored enough in the next few weeks, there might be something.
Nice, very good. Well, this little show is it's all to do with football kits and football memorabilia. So what I ask everybody to do is to bring in their own favourite kit of their own club, and then of a different non-Wolves club in this context, and then a couple of video clips. But that may have to change because of every single video being blocked at the moment by UEFA and FIFA. But we'll come up with a compromise. So Finn, let's have a look at your first kit then, your Wolves kit of choice.
Well, yeah, as I said to you just previously, for some decoration and for some honourable mentions here, I've got a nice little long sleeve white Doritos kit there. We've got that's like the Wolves replica version of not the official one of the Wolves head one. And then the iconic promotion away kit, which I really, really like. And then my favourite looking one, I don't actually have anymore. It's quite a story, but it's at my ex-girlfriend's house, and I never got it back. But it's the 2014, it's the 2014-15 What House one, with the black sleeves. I just something about it. I love that kit. I just like I just remember Phoebe wearing it, and I really, really like that one. But haven't got that one to hand. So
if you'd have told me, I could have got. I have got that. I could have got it out for you.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not with your ex-girlfriend.
I was going to say, it's a size medium. I've gone for this one just because of like going back to the old goal, proper style. I just like with the Puma, they were very nice, but they were very orange. Got it on a hanger as well. This was orange as well. That all works. Obviously got main man on the back with that one. But it's nothing too crazy. But I remember when it first came out, the hype about it, that sort of little promo they did where a few of the players walking up and then the old gold in the sky. It just really reminds me of good times, really. The W's are nice, it's a bit big in it, the W, but like the W with the Wolves thing, now they've ruined it by going with Villa. But just something about it.
Yeah. So, well, Manny Singh also picked that shirt as his favourite shirt. And just sort of referenced some of the great memories that we had from last year in the Premier League, first season back in the Premier League. What stands out for you from that season in that kit in particular?
The goals I sort of think about are all the sort of, I mean, Tottenham away was the one, because we wore the home kit quite a lot, didn't we? There was never, especially this season as well. We try, it's like avoid wearing the away kit at all costs, really. So it seems like every game, I mean, you've probably got your losses to Huddersfield in that kit, but we ignore those sorts of matches, particularly at Wembley. Obviously, Spurs were wearing the white, so we were in the gold. Obviously,
in all Wembley, gold, yeah.
Not that Wembley.
Not
the one we don't talk about, but the Tottenham one, just that, it reminded that second half. But were you in the away end for that one?
Yeah.
Just the sort of like, it started, even though we were 1-0 down, but everyone just thought like, we've got this here. There's constant clapping. The Wolverhampton one, that game, particularly that kit, just cast my mind back to that one. I mean, Costa scoring as well. That was crazy.
That was the last time he scored, wasn't it?
Yeah. Any time in the Premier League, I think that's crazy. But yeah, just that one. I think for some reason Chelsea as well. That Chelsea away game, one where absolutely like FIFA'd it, like 30 shots, and then we had like one, and it just got the draw. That one really sticks out to me. I think because I was wearing that kit that day as well. Right. I wore that to the game. For some reason, that stick just proper sort of Simeone-esque style. I don't know. Something about me, that the bad side in me just loved it. Not deserving to draw, but again.
So you've mentioned him already. Let's see if we can get him in the title.
There you go. Lay you up there, Tom. You just bang.
I saw you again yesterday. You were explaining how much Jimenez means to you, and you were explaining how you think he might stay for a long time. But what would you do if he was to go?
Yeah, I'm thinking how many more years you can be putting his name on the back of the kits, because I've got one every year so far. But I don't know. It's sort of like a thing where you're like, right, deal with that awful situation when it happens. I would miss them. I don't know, because I don't expect them to stick around. It's crazy to me, the concept of following players. I know you mentioned it with Billy, with Good Johnson and stuff like that. To me, I couldn't quite understand that, but now I can. Like they learn about Wolves. They want the Wolves kits. It's crazy, but I know that if he goes to Real Madrid or whatever, even then it's like, okay, we're focused our attention on Real Madrid. I remember Real Madrid were clever with Chicharito as well, getting him in to be able to attract that sort of audience. And Man United are very good with the Kagawas, the Ji-sung Parks, etc. Always having that sort of audience. So I said to Harry as well, I think Wolves wouldn't sign another Mexican or South American for me, but I think for themselves, that in the amount of social interaction they get from Jimenez, the YouTube views, their stuff, like Jimenez compilations get millions and millions of views. So they'd be stupid, I think, the marketing guys there, to not say, let's have a look at Lozano, let's have a look at, I don't know, wheeling, Carlos Vela, as I said to Harry, a 38-year-old Vela out or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to think, or aptly named, but I'm a really big fan of Corona at Porto. So it's probably not great. His value might have gone down a bit as well, but a very, very skillful player. But I don't know. You just sort of carry on as normal. Like, I loved vlogging in the Championship, as that may come up a little bit later, and I'd still be doing it. But obviously, I'd be prepared for the numbers and the demographic stuff for those Mexicans used to really do. Aside
from Jimenez, then, who's the next player that you'd be scared of Wolves leaving? Not just for your own YouTube channel, but just generally as a Wolves fan.
For winning games, well, Adama's the big one, because there's no player out there like him. I mean, I'm a big fan of St. Maximin at Newcastle. I think he's got everything apart from the, you know what I mean. So I could see, to be honest, I thought he was on loan, so I thought we could maybe get him at the end of the season. Turns out he actually went there permanently. But Adama would be one just because he's so unique. I think I've got no worries. This could get clipped up later in the years, but I've got no worries about Jota going. I just think he's the sort of player, especially if Nuno stays, all the stuff that I read about him saying he's taken Telford from Football Manager. He likes to be the underdog. He likes to do this. He likes to follow a project through. So even though he's unbelievable, I feel like he could be here forever. Do you know what I mean? Here for such a long time.
No, I agree. And I think it's the case with most of the players at the moment. I can't see Neves going. I've mentioned a couple of times on these podcasts now that he's so iconic and he's so idolised by the Wolves fans that why would he go to Man United or to Man City where he's just another player?
Exactly.
He's top dog. And I remember when we got promoted, remember going into the club shop and there was just Nuno and Neves plastered on absolutely everything. And never in my lifetime has that been the case. It may have been the case when Bully was really doing the business in the early 90s, but the fan base was so small then that it would not have had the same, global appeal that we've got now. But I'm very, very excited for the next 10 years as a Wolves fan, because I can't, touch wood, I can't see anything going wrong at the moment.
There you go. There's
relegated next season.
But no, I can't see that. Like with Bolly, obviously for me, I rate him so highly. But if you're another club, he's wrong side of getting to 30 now. Stuff like Cody as well. I can't see him ever working in a 2. There's not many other teams that play a 3 at the back, so I think we're all right there. But yeah, I can see it's probably going to jinx it. But I think Jota's the one that's going to be the stalwart. But I think Nuno's sort of what would it be like the glue, the Jenga piece?
Yeah.
You take that piece and it could just.
But you're right. Yeah, he's there's nobody like Nuno, is there? That you can't. Even if we were to get another top class manager, it wouldn't be like I haven't read it because I haven't got the Athletic, but I saw the headline of it talking about the Austria trip when he first came. Yeah, he said the only thing they had in common was that they were employed by Wolves, and then now the connection he's got with the city and everything is just unbelievable. I don't even know in other clubs. I can't think of anybody of a similar kind of story to that, really.
Yeah, I love that Austria story with Bolly because I remember I wasn't keen when Bolly first came in because they said it took a lot of persuading and he didn't want to join, and I was like, well, I don't want you then. Obviously now I've completely changed on that, but I was like, if you don't want to be here, then don't come. But he said about how Nuno rang him and said, and Bolly was like, oh, well, if we don't get promoted, and he was just like, oh, don't worry, we're getting promoted. The confidence in that, just to hear that now, is amazing that they were so confident. At the start, I was like, what? But I think he's made the right decision. And Neves has said that recently as well. What a great decision he made.
Yeah. Well, the episode that's going to be broadcast just before this one was with Ipswich fan Benjamin Bloom, and he said he saw Wolves play for the first time that season against Sheffield Wednesday away, and he said it was like we had cheat codes to the Championship. It was like it's ridiculous how easy it was for us, and it's easy to forget really that was only 2 years ago, and how just before that 3 years ago when we had Paul Lambert and stuff, it was just terrible. Can you imagine? I mean, we certainly wouldn't be talking to each other now if Paul Lambert was still the manager, because neither of us would have any sort of YouTube channel, would we? Really? It's
What did I do? I did Liverpool in the FA Cup was quite good that season, but apart from that, and then Zenga's Newcastle away was quite good. They were the only real videos, but no, that Sheffield Wednesday game, I remember I couldn't get a ticket for. My dad went because he got a ticket, but they didn't have 2, so I was watching it. I did like a Gogglebox style video for that one, me and my mum at home, and the video actually ended up on Sky Sports. That was the one where they actually
it was on the effort,
reacting to the Derby goal. But that was actually for that Sheffield Wednesday goal. It's just so satisfying, and how he just places it in the corner.
Kevin
they
McDonald-esque.
used it was the Derby one.
Yeah.
I was actually in the stands for the Derby one, but no, they used it for that.
Right, let's have a look at your next kit then. So a non-Wolves kit I've asked you for. What have you got?
Well, as I said, this series is like my dream. I'm a kit man. I love my kits. I've got my bed here, this whole drawer. I don't think you can see it from here, can you? No, but in this drawer it's just full of kits. And I've got loads of very, very nice ones. But I think that I started, as I will grab it off the floor, was buying kits from places. I think Billy sort of mentioned buying kits from places that I'd been. So when we went to Iceland, ironically, I bought an Iceland kit as well. Dubai, I got the Dubai FC team, Al Ali, they were called. And we went to the Maldives, and this was gold dust. Like, so I searched every time, like Iceland, I bought it online. And a Maldives kit, there was just none around. So we were there, and you're on a little island. It takes 10 minutes to walk around. There's no shops or anything. So I wasn't like walking into it was like bread and milk. You couldn't get like, can I have your home kit, please? So we were sat eating one night. Do you want me to I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'll put the picture on, in fact, that you've sent to me. If I can I'll just find it a second. You carry on talking.
Yes. So basically we were eating one night, and we had this guy that would come straight to the table and got friendly with him, blah, blah, blah. And he was asking how we were. Really good English. Mohammed, shout out. And he was very, very kind. And he said basically that we learned the whole culture. Oh, Tom, okay, this is getting fancy.
There
It
go.
is. So can I put it down now? Can you still?
Yeah.
See me? Yeah, you can still see me. Yeah. So basically, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, basically they're mostly Sri Lankan that work on these islands in the Maldives, and they fly in. But I think he was from the Maldives actually. But they fly back and forward, and they'll work 3 weeks on an island or whatever, then they'll go back for a few days and see their family, because then they send them money home. So it was fascinating. It was really nice what they do. So he was talking about going back to the main Maldives island. So when you fly to the Maldives, you go to this main sort of city. It's honestly like there's like skyscrapers everywhere, but on this tiny little island.
No way.
And then you fly out to your other little ones on seaplanes, like these tiny little rickety seaplanes, and they're very scary. My mum hated them. So he was going back to the main island where there were obviously shops. So he said, and I mentioned that I buy kits because I think I was wearing a kit from, it was only France or something. It wasn't very exotic, but one that I got while I was in France. And he said, well, let me have a look, and then you can just pay me when you get back or whatever, and I'll bring it back, because he was back on the Thursday and we were leaving on the Friday. So he went, couldn't find anything. And sorry, I forgot. He was meant to be going back to see his newborn grandson. But it seems like he was back for 2 days, and it seems like he wasted a whole entire day looking for the kit for me. And I felt awful. Like I only wanted to just pop into the shop. But he told me this whole story. He said his brother's friend was the manager of the Maldivian under-23s.
No way.
It sold out in all the shops, but he contacted this guy and he said, have you got any spare kit? And they said there was one spare kit that wasn't being used. Yeah. And they said, give it, I can't remember what it was, like the equivalent of 40 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can have it. So it was meant for the players. But as you can see, like still tagged up and everything there.
Yeah.
So then he brought that back, told us this whole story about. So he'd only seen his new family members born for a day, because he was running around heading to the Maldivian FA headquarters and all this. On it, like, and then another guy in one of the other restaurants, he played for the Maldives and was serving us pizzas as well. So because like there's no wage there, so he's playing for the national team, and then was a waitress. Well, honestly, it was unbelievable. But the story behind it is like one I've never had. So. That really has a special memory with me. I've got better looking kits and all ones like that, but this one.
That's a very good story.
I think it's Joe. Is it Swansea?
Yes, Swansea have had Joma. Yeah. That's a very good story.
Yeah, little Maldives, and it says fam in the middle for some reason. But and shout out. But as you can see, I'm not actually that tall. They are quite small as well.
No, well, Finn, you are
giant.
you are massive anyway. That man's 6 foot.
Yeah.
I'll ask you what me and Dave were talking a couple of days ago when we were doing his episode about other clubs' shirts. So I've got no problem in wearing any international shirt at all, really. I've got Germany shirts, I've got Wales shirts, France shirt, Holland shirt, all sorts. But I have the only other club shirt that I've got, apart from Turin. I bought a Torino shirt when I was over there. But I can't bring myself to wear another English club's shirt. Have you got any other English clubs in your selection?
I'm the same. I'm pretty sure, I think it's on the top. I've got one because it's my mum's, the team that my mum supported growing up. And one of my mum's family members bought it me. It's nothing. They're never going to be playing Wolves, but I've got a Fleetwood one.
Okay.
So because
my
mum
Vardy on the
grew
back
up in Blackpool, it has not. No, I think it's from 2 or 3 seasons ago. But I've got a Fleetwood. I think that is it. Yeah, I'm the same. I've got the PSG shirt, the one this season, just because is that on the top as well? Yeah. This one, even though I don't agree with how their club is run, this kit is gorgeous. Yeah. So I've got that one.
But Dave picked a PSG shirt.
I'm the same. Yeah, they're gorgeous. They are. But especially English clubs, as you said, I don't know. I suppose it should be the same, really, like if you wear an England shirts. But I've got so many other nation shirts, as you said. But I'm the same. I don't know. Like I was thinking that because I love Alan St. Maximin, but I was thinking about getting like a French one. I couldn't get a Newcastle. I don't know. It's strange. I agree with that sort of stuff. I don't know what it is, but it feels right. It just feels dirty, doesn't it? It feels wrong.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So right, let's move on to the next part of the show, which is to have a look at some clips. Now, hopefully, these will not be blocked by YouTube, especially this first one.
One of them shouldn't.
Because it's from your channel, Finn. So I'm going to try. I've lined it up so that it's going to start at a free kick. So can you see that on the screen now?
Yes.
There's not going to be any sound on it, so if we'll talk over the clips. So this is, of course, Cardiff against Wolves from April. Oh, it's not the correct free kick. I thought I'd done it right.
No.
April 2018.
This is the one, I think.
This is the one. Yes.
There it is. Well, yeah, as I was going to say with that first one, there was the Saito, and I love the sarcastic where all the Cardiff fans go, "Whey!" And then you're like, God, he'll show you. He has a Saito. He does that quite a lot, doesn't he? Misses one.
Yeah.
Sort of like goes flying. You never see that on TV, and then they chuck in the screamers.
Get a replay then, slow motion.
It looks slow motion to me anyway. It's going quite jittery. So,
yeah.
But yeah, this is even. But,
so tell us the story of the day then, from your memory of this game.
Yeah, when you asked, I sort of said I just want the whole entire second half of the Cardiff game. I think that would have got blocked. So we've gone over to my vlog here. Oh, there he is, fresh faced as well. But yeah, as I was saying to you, this is the first time I ever met Dave. We've been in contact online. And it turns out he wasn't a catfish. It was nice. He was the right person. And yeah, so we got on the coach. 3 hours there. We couldn't get to sit together because we got on the coach too late. So we were like talking to each other from a few rows away.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was the best bonding experience ever. Like the sort of it was basically win this and we were promoted, wasn't it? Really, not mathematically, but it felt like that. And so we thought we'd do a video together. Dave did one as well. It came in handy having two of us there when it comes to the eventual things in a minute. Obviously, Mike Dean. Oh, there we go.
That's the first penalty save. Yeah.
One. There we go. Right. Well, that's happened. So I was filming out, obviously very poorly there. Dave was filming in. But you see the difference in our reactions as well. The first one, it's like, yes. But then the second one, it's like, oh, it's been saved. But what like, are they going to give away another one? Is there going to be a rebound? Because this one, we were giving it the big one. But yeah, just as a moment, sort of knowing Wolves were going to reach the Premier League. It's the first proper time, like, because obviously the one before with Mick McCarthy, I was like 10, and you don't sort of appreciate the whole thing. Oh, there's Mike. Yeah, there he is. So like now where I fully understand football, I'm fully understanding, tactics, stuff like that. And there's the ball boy there as well. We'll get that picture.
Yeah,
up as well. But yeah, it was just the perfect sort of away game. And I was feeling, I was really ill 2 days before. But I probably shouldn't have got on a coach full of people. It'd definitely be frowned upon nowadays. I wasn't coughing. But yeah, I didn't feel great. But I thought, I didn't get to go to many away games that season, but I got a few of the iconic ones, luckily. And obviously this one, it was just, I wasn't missing it for the world. I don't know whether I had some sort of subconscious thing that I was going to miss something big here, but this is the second one. I can't remember which one went around on Twitter. I think it was this one, wasn't it?
He's missed it. Yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah.
And then it'd probably get blocked if we put in like the Warnock thing as well. There was just so much of this game, like a Neves free kick, the two penalties, and then I remember celebrating, and then everyone turning their attention to what Warnock was doing on the pitch. So like, hang on, what is going on here? And then the Punjabi Wolves drums outside. It was just the perfect away day. And there's been some amazing ones in the last 2 years, but this was the one where you sort of think, right, Wolves are going to do it, and it was just special.
I'm getting shivers down my spine looking at it. Just a Nuno walking over now. That's when I realised we are up now. We are up. A very, very special day. Yeah, but I was in Wales the day before. Because I've got friends over there, and I'd only moved back to the Midlands the year before. So it was quite an emotional day for me anyway, going back. But I remember standing outside the ground and and you can see the Millennium Stadium from the car park in the Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah.
And I was looking across and I was thinking about the playoff final. I was thinking about Sir Jack and stuff like that. And then when those penalties came at the end, even the second one, I thought, I don't think they're going to score. Because I jokingly said the first time, I said, because John Ruddy had just been voted the PFA or EFL goalkeeper of the season or something. I was like, he's been rubbish though, but how's he won that? But then he saves that first one. Then the second one, he's just assumed they probably will score. But then I had this feeling within me, just knowing that they weren't going to score. And but the Friday beforehand as well against Middlesbrough, unbelievable. That was the more emotional game because of how desperate we were hanging on that game. It was just cheering clearances like they were goals was special.
Yeah, and it was one of the red cards. Was it on Adama? I think it was the second yellow.
Neves, I think,
he absolutely ran us ragged.
In fact, they were both. Well, one was on Adama, and the other one was on George Friend, who was, of course, an ex-Wolves player. Yeah. So we had past and present Wolves players getting fouled. But let's just get that photo up that you've just referenced. let me see, because you are. I can't. Oh, somebody's just sending me WhatsApp messages, so I can't quite see it. There we go. So this is your banner, isn't it, on YouTube? And as you can see, if I zoom right in there, the biggest mouth in the world.
I should have given him a game. Did it like Where's Wally?
Yeah. Oh, okay. But as you said, you were saying earlier on about just looking around at all the different faces, and I mean him in particular.
Honestly, you can look
boy.
at that photo forever.
Yeah, brilliant photo.
There's some brilliant ones. It's I don't. Can they see me on? Yeah. But anyway, they don't need to see to believe. But yeah, it's also my phone background. It's my computer background. It's my channel art. Yeah, my channel banner. It's just like I'm normally with I don't know why, but we get given away tickets like up in the gods or out of the way, and that for one time we were in a nice little photo spot for one of the most iconic photos of the last few years. Yeah. But no, it's just the more you look at it, the more everyone's story. You sort of like you can just sort of make up little stories, and it's probably sad how many times I've looked at this. But and I know quite a few of the people in it now since like we're going to do it. Like you can see Scott as well that does the YouTube videos about 3 rows above my dad. A lot of it's not just me with the phone in there, thank God. Yes, there's quite a few around, but there's some brilliant faces, some brilliant stories, and the Punjabi Wolves lads as well were wrote.
Roman Sace there.
Oh yeah, God, it's so stunning.
I know that his family do go to the games. I wonder whether it is a relation of his. Be funny if it was.
It does look like it does look like him a lot.
Yeah, I was sitting a little bit
jumper as well.
Yeah, I was sitting a little bit further to the left of this picture and further up. But I remember having taking my coat off and swinging it around my head and standing on the chair and stuff and just being absolute carnage. Well, let's move on to the last clip then that you've sent me, which is a non-Wolves clip, still a football clip though. I'm going to try and get this on. I remember I was in my second year of university watching this. You were probably about 6 years old or something, were you?
What year was it? Was it 2011?
2012.
Where did you go to uni? Because we might have been in the same country.
I was in Wales. I was in
I was in Wales when it happened.
No way.
I was in Barmouth.
Okay. I spent a lot of time.
I chose this version of it as well purely because it shows the Man United react. Oh, is this the one or is this a different one? I don't know, but I love that. Yeah, here we go. Where it swaps to Alex. Oh God, it's just so, especially because I don't particularly love Man City, but I hate Man United and this whole sort of drama of this. I didn't actually get to watch this live on Sky Sports. It was we were in the car coming back from Barmouth back home, and obviously like we didn't get the iconic Martin Tyler commentary either. But I remember I think QPR just got one, or Man United had done something, and I remember my mum saying, we were in the race, she was like, well, it just shows money doesn't equal success or whatever. And as soon as she said it, it was like, Man City, you've got one back. And it was like, and then they'd done another one, and then getting home and seeing Paul Merson's he's got love bites and everything, and then the Aguero as well, the iconic Aguero, and then I remember I hadn't been obviously in the Man City home end before, but when I went to the FBAs last season, we were in the area where they just had a sort of shrine to it. So it's just Aguero written across the walls, and you forget how special it is. And there's the time that it went in, isn't there? There's like
is it 93-20?
Yeah, and it's all over the walls, and so it's just if Wolves could ever have a moment like that, like you can't write it, can you? You're rivals. You've been the underdog the whole time, and to see I found a clip when I was sending it to you. I'd never seen it before. It didn't take away from the Man United game, so it was just the whole footage of them being happy and then them finding it. Honestly, it's just if I could inject that, it's just it's just unbelievable. It's just,
I remember
Wolves ever had a moment.
Well, I mean, if Wolves do it, it won't be as dramatic as that, though. I don't think it would just be we'd do it with 7 games to spare, and it would just be a procession. That's how we're going to win the league. But I do remember watching that game with Billy, who's a Chelsea fan, and then a friend of mine called Ruth, who's a Liverpool fan, and all 3 of us went absolutely bonkers when they scored that goal. So much so that I thought Samir Nasri had scored the goal, and he wasn't even on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because
it's just, and they said, was it Balotelli's only assist? They said as well.
Yeah.
And
And there was a slight Wolves connection as well, because Joe Lescott was playing that game and he had an absolute stinker. I remember we had in my room at university, we had City and United were on one screen, and then Wolves were playing Wigan in their last Premier League game before they got relegated. So I had half an eye on that, but I was far more interested in the City and United rivalry. And I just remember thinking that it wasn't going to happen at all. But the internet went down as well. When you do go to university, you will find that it's even worse than at your house. It went down at 2-1 to QPR. So all we had to rely on was betting odds. And City went from 200 to 1 to win the league to 50 to 1 within seconds. So he thought, they've equalised there.
Yeah.
So we missed Dzeko's goal. Then we got it back on and saw Aguero's goal live, and we erupted. And you could hear all the other lads around campus who were also watching it.
Yeah.
Screaming as well, like, oh yes, nobody likes Man United.
Yeah, it's just like that story, like I said, we've got like the underdog doing something like that. It's just so sad. Obviously, when they've spent millions and billions of pounds, it makes them less of an underdog, but just sort of like rising from what they were to do that to Man United. Yeah, just unbelievable. And like you said, it's sort of, it seems historic, but you sort of, if you could delve into it, almost like that Watford one where you say, well, Watford never went up in the end after Deeney did that. But like the QPR sort of semi, they were safe, weren't they? So they just sort of gave up anyway. I think. But
it was within that clip though, within that 30 seconds, they didn't know they were safe until I think it's referenced on the commentary there where they go, Niall Quinn goes, the QPR fans are going mad because I can't remember who, Bolton perhaps it was at the time, who their game had finished and they were relegated regardless of the results at the Etihad. So, and I always think when Paddy Kenny dives to his left, if you look closely and slow enough, it looks like he moves his hand out of the way. So I'm a bit suspicious that he thought, you know what, people are going to watch this clip over and over and over again. They'll see Paddy Kenny on the back of his shirt.
Sell a few replicas.
Yeah. So let's move on to the final part of the show then, Finn, which is your mystery items. And you said you've got a couple and you couldn't choose between them. So
yes,
talk us through them.
Well, it's sort of a past and present thing as well. There's been a sort of a theme. One of them until last year has been my treasured item. He came up in a recent Talking Wolves quiz as well. The guy that I absolutely love, being the height that I am, seeing a guy come through at Wolves, not Stefan Meierhofer, but Dominic Iorfa, seeing what he did coming through the ranks at Wolves. Nice. And these are his signed boots when he played. I think it was the season when like West Ham was sniffing around him. So I remember I can send you the pictures, maybe putting him in post or whatever, but I remember begging him not to look like there. He was only giving me the boots and he was very like awkward, like I can't tell you if I'm leaving or not. But I was like, please don't go to West Ham. But I remember when he was hot property at that point, wasn't he? Where he was just either centre half or right back. I remember particularly that Newcastle away, he played at centre half with Danny Bath and just had a great game along with Stacey and CDM as well. That might help. But yeah, his signed boots, these have been treasured for years. Obviously, I keep an eye on him as well. I see he's bagged a few at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a shame, a real shame, I think, about Iorfa, because when he first came onto the scene, I thought he was unbelievable. Him and Hawes, when they came in at the same time, I hadn't seen players come in through the academy. I know we'd signed them from somewhere else, but they'd come in through the under-23s and then made an impact on the first team. I thought, God, this is the future of Wolves. And then very, very sudden decline for both of them, really. It was very, very sad, I thought.
Yeah, I had this is a funny story. I had when it was the end of season dinner even, just before, you remember like Lambert did a whole speech at the end and it was like, I know I'm going to take Wolves here, Jeff Shue said he shares the same DNA, and then he got sacked like 2 weeks later or whatever, and then Nuno came. So it was really strange, but I was there and I this was when I was first starting to get my tactics on playing Football Manager about 2015 or 2016, whenever it was. And I'd written out this tactic that I wanted Wolves to play for the next season. I was going to give it to Paul Lambert. And I think I've got the paper, but it's so ironic because it was 3-4-3.
No way.
It was House and Iorfa at left and right centre-back and Danny Bath in the middle. Cody was on the bench. That hadn't even come to mind as it had with no one. But I thought, damn it, left and right centre-back, obviously House with his left foot, Iorfa with his right. I had Ben Marshall at wing back because he's been playing right back for Blackburn or whatever. I can't remember who I had at left. I think I had Doherty there because he was playing left back at the time, so I had him left wing back. But I just remember, and then obviously Nuno coming in and playing the 5 at the back. But yeah, I was anything to get Iorfa in, and I thought he's good at right back, he's good at centre back. Maybe that could have worked. Yeah. And we never really saw it with Nuno, did we? We were sort of out before that happened, but.
Yeah, he fell out of favour very, very quickly. I can't remember exactly the reasons why, but he's sort of, I don't know, his attitude and things like that started to become a bit of a problem. But I'm glad that he's starting to get back on track now at Sheffield Wednesday and things like that. I hope that he does make it because he was a very, very talented young player.
And you forget how long he was still at Wolves. Sorry,
No.
Emma,
Go on.
but yeah, I West Ham away, the first win in the Premier League, the Adama one. I was there with Dave and Ewan, and my other friend Tom, not you. But I was having a wee, looked to the left, and it was just like Arthur having a wee next to me in the toilets at West Ham, and he was like still there, and I was like, what are you doing? And then thankfully he'd recognised me because I reacted. I was like, what are you doing here? And then I was like, what's going on? And he didn't know at that point. And then it must have been the January, did he go to Sheffield Wednesday or something? But you forget how long he was actually still there, just not involved. But this one isn't going to surprise you for the present one.
Go on,
I don't think I'll be able to get it on over my headphones, but
very good.
The Mystery Wolves item, treasure. There was only 40 of these ever made. Quite poorly made, I may add, by whoever Wolves got to do it. There's stitches all over the place in them, but yeah, it's just iconic, isn't it? Obviously, it would be more iconic if that game led to a win. But yeah, treasure. Obviously, for the Molineux game as well that we were all involved in, being able to do that was a dream of mine. Just to score at Molineux, then it became a dream to put the mask on.
I know. I still have nightmares about that game. I still have about me going through on goal first couple of minutes and dragging it wide, and then I tell.
I thought you meant Wembley then.
Oh no. Our game at Molineux. So whenever I tell the story, I make it seem like, you know, it was going to be the winning moment, but in fact we went on to win 6-0 and it was fine. But more so for myself, I was running towards the North Bank, a stand that I'd sat in for years and years and years as a teenager, and then blasted it wide, and then looked at the goalkeeper and he didn't have gloves on. I thought, what an idiot! Why didn't I just smash it as hard as I could straight at him?
Yeah,
it would have gone in.
Yeah,
but, that was a lovely afternoon. I very much enjoyed it.
It was. Yeah, I don't know when they would next be able to, because like with renovations, and obviously even without, if it was all back to normal, obviously there'd still be renovations, but obviously what's going on at the moment as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a struggle in the next few years to do anything like that. But I've like people have been in contact before, like doing a big sort of YouTube sort of Wolves podcast, like getting everyone involved. And I was like, it'd be amazing to open the gates and just say to Wolves, let people in for free or whatever. That's an idea that over the next few years would be amazing, wouldn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, now you've got your 30,000. We could have a whole stadium full of fans, couldn't we? Watching.
Imagine. Yeah. If we could fill like just the South Bank, because I imagine that would be amazing. I think combined with all of them, if you got every podcast involved or whatever, every YouTube channel.
I mean, it's a lot of money to fly from Mexico just for a little match like that.
Yeah. We'll do it in Mexico. It'd be cheaper to fly us 20 over.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. But thank you very much for coming on, Finn. Very much enjoyed your stories, and I don't need to tell you where to find Finerrz, because I'm sure that everybody knows who he is and where to find him. But it's spelled incorrectly, so just give everybody a quick reminder how to spell it. Yeah,
on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, FINERRZ. Completely wrong, but you know,
streamline now. Right, nice one. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well, everybody. And you can find this podcast out on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else as well. And I'll see you all in a couple of days for the next episode. Thank you very much. Goodbye.